CTV has captured the moments that matter in our community. From our studios in St. Clair, you're watching Focus with Paul Dingeman.
Well, happy March to you as we roll along. We got a great show for you today. 3 segments. St. Clair County Community Mental Health will start us out. Then the ladies from the St. Clair Women's League talking about flowers, and when they come, that means spring's right around the corner. And then finally, some students from Holy Cross. They've got a play coming up, and we'll talk to them. So that's the show. Miss Deborah Johnson, welcome back. You look wonderful. You look
Thank
rested.
You. I feel great.
We like that. The
And I am
public likes
rested.
that. The public likes that.
Thank you.
What's happening at St. Clair County Community Mental Health?
Well, as always, lots happening, and
really?
So I wanted to bring Kristen Thompson with me.
Kristen, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Kristen Thompson is an assistant division director with us, working in our adult and family services area, and she's been with our agency 20 years, so she has a lot of experience too. And so she's going to help as we talk about some of the awareness months that we have this.
There was a whole bunch of them.
Yeah.
As you noticed. Let's begin. Kristen, first,
yes.
welcome.
Thank you.
This is called, and it's a big, long title, March is Intellectual and Developmental Disabilities Awareness Month.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, it is. And since 1987, Congress actually initiated an act that President Ronald Reagan at the time signed into did the proclamation claiming March as intellectual and develop. It was actually originally Developmental Disability Awareness
Right.
Month, and now it's been modified to Intellectual Developmental Disability Month, and Kristen's gonna help explain a little bit of the difference between that. But one of the things I want to say is the purpose of it is really to raise awareness about people with disabilities and to kind of highlight their strengths and not just focus on weaknesses, and talk about some of their accomplishments and encourage people to learn more about developmental disabilities, intellectual disabilities, and things like that. And so that was the original purpose. It still is the purpose. But also, I think what President Reagan said at that time is still exactly true today. And what he said is, I got to read it so I get it right. I urge all Americans to both encourage and provide opportunities for individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities to lead productive lives and to help them achieve their full potential. That was true in 1987, and it's true today. So we're happy that they started this initiative, and that we can talk about it and do the work that we do. And so I think Kristen can tell us a little bit more about intellectual disabilities and developmental disabilities.
Absolutely. So
Please do.
we'll detail what they are a little bit. An intellectual disability often comes from physical causes like autism, cerebral palsy, lack of stimulation when they're an infant. That's such an important growth time for individuals, and if it's not taken advantage of, you really see that further on when people develop. Some things we look for when people are coming in to see if maybe there is a developmental disability. Are they able to care for themselves? Are they able to understand language and express language to others? That's a big, tough thing when development, if that can't happen. Learning, how can they learn in the typical classroom setting? How can they learn typical tasks of life, caring for yourself, caring for your apartment, caring for pets, that
Or
sort
maybe
of thing.
maybe the need to learn with adaptation or
Yes.
modifications or things like that.
Yep, and that's often where we step in
Yeah.
with adaptations. We try to keep people as independent as possible. Other things we're looking for is mobility, and that's a big challenge in life, that if you can't navigate steps, you can't navigate stores, walk long distances, that
Curbs.
really affects your ability in life. Economic self-sufficiency is a big one as well. That we find a lot of people have trouble gaining employment. And that's a really important part of launching independent life, is being able to have your own job. One thing with that, though, is that we do have some programs that help with that. And I think people with developmental disabilities sometimes are viewed as maybe secondary when you're in the job market.
Right.
And we found that they are very great employees, loyal to the cause, proud of their work, will be a lifelong employer.
Yeah, I was going to relate that to some kids that I know that are in that situation.
Yeah.
And they are such great. They want to be
Great.
they want to be on time. They want to be at work. They're very proud of what they do.
Yes, they are.
And they're so proud to be with other people.
And so happy to have the chance.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes individuals with developmental disabilities are underestimated.
Yes.
And when you get to know them and you figure out what works for them, they can do almost any task that you or I can do. And so that's been a really great thing for us. We have a program called Opportunities for Success, which is a supported employment program. And it's not like we have this opening at McDonald's, we're going to plug you in here. It's more of talking about, okay, we're sitting with the person, what do they want? What is important for them in life? And then we find a job that's a good fit for them.
Okay, that's better, yeah, than trying to fit them
Yeah.
in a round hole in a
Absolutely.
square peg or something like that. Okay.
And then we have we've had long time programs like our Community Integration Services
Yeah.
program where we help people with intellectual developmental disabilities. It's called CIS or Community Integration Services because half the services are in the community, and we're trying to help integrate people and so that they can be included. And teach them different skills. They do things like help Council on Aging Meals on Wheels.
We plant flower beds in the summer and city
wonderful.
beautification.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Another big program we have is community living services. So if somebody wants to learn a skill, maybe like without mom and dad, and to have that independence, we can take people in the community, teach them skills, community safety skills, understanding road signs, sidewalk,
right.
watching for traffic.
Little things like that people don't realize that
Yeah.
even road signs you got to understand.
And that's a huge safety
Yeah.
concern.
Yeah.
Other things of independence, ordering your own meal, learning how to make change, and so you're making sure that your money is getting back in your pocket. Then for the people that want to live in their own apartment, that is very plausible for most people to be able to do that. We can bring our staff in to assist with learning how to maintain your home, getting a routine to when to vacuum, when to do your laundry, making meals, grocery shopping.
Yeah.
And that's really improved quality of life for a lot of people.
Okay.
That's good on all that stuff, I think.
Yeah.
We have a lot. Well, I guess just we should say this, or we'll say it at the end again too. But another resource in our community is the ARC of St. Clair County that does a lot of
Yes.
advocacy for individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities. And their number I probably should have told you ahead of time. You could have flashed it up there, but it's 810-987-9144. And they don't provide services, but they do advocacy and help connect with resources. If people have questions, people can call us too. Sometimes it might be easier to make a call to them. They're a little smaller operation,
Right.
But certainly we're available too for questions or resources or services.
And we'll gladly come to the table with them. We have several meetings with them and the person in question that sometimes more heads of the table are better than one.
We've talked about intellectual and developmental disabilities. What about Brain Injury Awareness Month? What's that? Is that similar or is that different?
It's similar, but usually a brain injury is an actual injury happens to your body, an auto accident,
Okay,
maybe
okay.
a fall as a small child, something like that. The one thing we find is when treating everybody that comes through our door is that we treat the whole person. And so if there is a brain injury, we want to work on providing services and accommodations, but also we want to look at the full body. And that we find so often with no matter what population of people come through our door, are they getting enough exercise? Are we eating well? Do we understand nutrition? Do we have the social connections we need? And so we spend a lot of time, the case managers and clinicians at CMH, looking at the whole person to say, what can we do to make your life in general have a higher quality?
And one of the things I'd like to say about traumatic brain injuries is to be eligible for our services, it has to occur before the age of, I was going to say 22.
Yep.
And so sometimes we've had people, unfortunately, that have a traumatic brain injury after that age, and they don't necessarily qualify for our services.
Oh.
We can still provide, resources for
absolutely.
them and things like that. But anybody where that happens before that age, they are eligible for our services. So we would encourage them to make a call. And sometimes insurance companies will pay if it's
Yeah.
after, and we can maybe do something too. So I just want to say that. But so Kristen had sort of a nice segue into the next topic,
Okay.
nutrition.
Nutrition. Go
So
ahead.
So yeah, we want to talk about, how, your brain is always working. It's on 24/7. Controls
Yeah.
everything. Our movements, our breathing, our heartbeat, everything. And so it's really important what we put into our bodies to fuel our brain. And so this is also National Nutrition Month, and we actually have a dietitian
do,
on
yeah.
staff that works with one of our programs. It's a promising practice called In Shape, but she works with that program because we know that nutrition affects your mental health. It affects everything, your physical and your mental health.
Yeah.
But specifically, we know that research shows that diets high in refined sugars can lead to contribute to mood disorders such as depression. So it's really important to kind of check labels and see what you're what you're really eating and putting in your mouth. And
we've also found that some of the people that come into our services are in a pretty tight budget, and that they are under the understanding that they can't afford the healthy food, that apple costs a lot of money and I can't afford that. And so our dietitian and our InShape staff will actually work with them to show them that you might have a pretty tight food budget, but you can still eat healthy on that budget, and ways to eat healthy and affordably.
There's a group of people that are always happy, and that is the the Down syndrome people. They are smiling and just so delightful to be around. Yeah. And this is also World Down Syndrome Day coming up.
It is, yep. March 21st is World Down Syndrome Day. And we serve many people who have Down syndrome within our services. And we just thought we would share a few facts about Down syndrome. It's a chromosomal disorder that occurs randomly. So when someone is born with Down syndrome, it's not their fault, it's not the family's fault. Historically, sometimes people have really viewed that as a tragedy, and there are so many brilliant and lovely people that have Down syndrome that do great things in life.
That's right.
And that's like an important thing that she just said, is the actual intellectual abilities range from maybe very lower IQs to high, and they're college graduates with Down syndrome. So you
there
can't.
Was the famous lady that came and spoke here in St. Clair County.
Were you thinking of? Well, she
wrote books, and she was a doctorate.
Are you thinking about not the one that Jerry that had cerebral palsy?
No.
We had Corky was here too. That from Life Goes On. I'm trying to think of who else.
She was in animal husbandry. Well, I'll think of it about 3 o'clock tomorrow morning, and I'll call you.
We'll report it at the next our next segment.
Oh.
Go ahead.
I think an important thing is that early intervention is key, because sometimes people with Down syndrome do have to have a little extra support and work really hard to keep up with some of those benchmarks in life that maybe those of us without Down syndrome hit a little easier, but the support is there. And so I think the key is that if you have a child that is diagnosed with Down syndrome, which is usually diagnosed at birth, that really reach out and get the help, because there's so much help out there. And there are so many resources, and your child can have a very good life.
I think the one I was thinking about was autism. Different day, different subject.
And then I know
that's another month.
Yep, and I know who you're talking about. It's April. We'll get all the facts for April.
Okay.
All right, I know the book you're talking about. Anyways, so that's important. So Down Syndrome Awareness Day is March 21st, and we'll have stuff. We always have things on our website and
coming
Facebook.
up in May, there's a thing that comes up every year, which is great. Healthy Minds, Healthy Bodies, Run for Recovery. What's it about? May 13th.
May 13th. It's the 15th annual.
The sun will be with us that day.
The sun will be with us. We're hoping and praying. We have a really cool shirt, as I was explaining earlier. And I'm just going to say, I think we always have great shirts. So a lot of runners like to run for the shirts, and so you can also walk and get the same shirt.
Okay.
So there's a 1 mile walk, a 5 mile, a 5K, which is a 3.1. And then we do a 1 mile timed run for kids ages 12 and under. So that's always fun for the kids. If you register before April 7th, it's $25 a person. Unless you're 18 or under, it's only $15. And if you register after that, the price goes up to $30 and probably $20. I don't even know for the kids, but although we might cut them slack all the way through, who knows. But anyways, we give out a lot of awards. It's going to be a fun day. It is every year. And the purpose is to just kind of highlight the healthy minds, healthy bodies, because we are focusing on integrated healthcare, and we look at the whole person, and this is just one more thing that we do. So we have these things all over town with QR codes. People can just scan it to register.
Oh, okay.
And if you want to register the old-fashioned way with the actual thing, the brochure, we have those in our office.
With a pencil.
With a pencil, you can do it.
Sure.
Just bring us your money.
Yeah.
So we have all kinds of ways to do that. So, and if you have any questions or you want the actual paper registration, you can call our office 985-8900.
Kristen, you can come back anytime.
Well, I would be glad to do that.
And Deb is here frequently, so that will
I'll just follow
make
her.
the trip easier.
Perfect.
Have we missed anything?
I don't think so. Kristen?
No.
Ladies, you have so much important information, and your agency does such wonderful work with so many thousands of people in the county. We just love having you come and tell the story.
We're glad to do so.
Thanks for having us here.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you.
Coming up, we're going to hear about flowers for the month of March from the St. Clair Women's League. We'll do that in just a second. We are glad to have the next segment, and because that means that the St. Clair Women's League flower sale is just around the corner, and that means spring is here. Elaine Mazzaro, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
And Miss
Carrie Seipert.
Seipert. I'll get you to say it this time.
Yes.
Welcome back to the Focus Show. Nice to
Thank
see
you.
you. I really mean that. Every year when the St. Clair Women's League comes, that means it's almost spring.
Thank goodness,
Thank
right?
goodness. So when is the sale this year? What's the details? How do we get involved?
Yep. So the details are we have beautiful geraniums and annuals and hanging baskets and porch pots available again this year. We're really excited about it. Get a hold of your favorite St. Clair Women's League member, and orders are due by the early first half of April. They will be delivered May 6th and 13th at St. Clair Middle School is our delivery pickup place again, those 2 consecutive Saturdays in May.
And you've been there at St. Clair Middle a couple of years, and that really works out well because you can drive right in. And,
Yep.
and there's a nice circle drive there, and you got it well organized, and
Absolutely.
that's super. Well, talk to me about the St. Clair Women's League.
All right, we are celebrating our 50th
Is
anniversary
it the
this year.
50th already?
Yes, 50.
Wow.
Yes. We have 2 major fundraisers each year. This is one of those, our flower sale, and we use those funds to donate back to the community. Things like Harbor Impact, Teens
Yep.
in Need,
Scholarships for
yeah,
high school
scholarships for the high
graduates,
school graduates, first responders and veterans.
food pantry,
Yes,
a million
ecumenical.
things.
Yes.
I remember the early days, 50 years ago, unfortunately, I remember that, when it was the St. Clair JC's auxiliary, and the JC's, the guys folded, their groups folded, but the women had some money left, so they started the St. Clair Young Women's League, and then that became the St. Clair Women's League, so it was great stuff.
Yes, yeah. We're learning all of that history. Years we're getting ready to celebrate.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, you really have done some great things over the years. So, how do I order? Where do I get flowers?
So Elena's actually our PR officer. She's a good way to be reached. She can be reached on Facebook.
and you can also reach us through our email, stclairwomen@gmail.com, or you can reach out and give us a call at 586-201-7972.
Okay, they'll put that number up on the screen. It's 586-201-7972, or St. Clair Women, not women's.
Right,
St.
yes.
Clair Women at gmail.com. There it is on the screen. So those are good numbers. Similar prices to last year? Similar prices, similar
Absolutely.
kinds of colors?
We're not
and-
raising prices 1 cent from last year, actually. So we're really happy about that because so many things have had their prices raised.
And
So.
the thing that always impressed me was all the multitude of colors that you guys
Yep.
had.
Yeah, we have geraniums, and there's going to be options of pink splash, violet ice, dark red, salmon. We have, again, we have annuals, we have ferns, we have hanging baskets of
Porch
begonias, porch pots in 12-inch, 14-inch, 18-inch. We also have an urn style option this year for a
And-
12-inch
an
urn style.
Oh,
so
okay.
the raised
Yeah, yeah,
kind
yeah,
that's
yeah.
on a stand. And something we're really excited about this year for the first time, we're doing cascading petunia wall bags
Ooh.
in red, white, and blue.
All right.
Right in time for Memorial
Yeah,
Day.
yeah.
So a lot of great options. Most things are the same, but with a couple additions that are exciting.
Okay, so I've got to get my orders to my favorite
Women's
St. Clair
League member.
Women member by April.
April 14th is when our orders need to be complete. So ideally a couple days before that at least.
Okay, so the 1st of April.
1st of April, yes. And then
Okay.
maybe a couple extra days for those who need it.
And then you pick them up in May.
Correct. May 6th and May 13th are
Okay.
the delivery days, and 9 to 11 a.m. is when people will be invited to pick up their flowers.
And it's
All of-
always nice days those times.
Oh
Guaranteed.
yeah, for sure. Balmy and nice. But yeah, we're really excited to be doing it again this year. It's always a very successful fundraiser for us, and we couldn't do the things that we do for
No,
the community
that's right. That's right.
without it working beautifully like always. So please reach out to us on Facebook, reach out to Elaine on Facebook or her phone, or to a Women's League member that you know.
We'll throw that number up again. It's 586-201-7972 and St. Clair Women at gmail.com.
Yes.
Glad you came along.
Oh,
Nice
thank
to
you.
see Thanks for bringing.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for bringing
Thank
spring.
you.
Yes.
We've
Thank
been
you.
waiting for you.
Our pleasure.
You guys are the responsible for bringing spring.
Every year.
There's a big play coming up down in the Performing Arts Center in a week or two with some students from Holy Cross, and they're coming along next. Well, the aforementioned Holy Cross Drama Club is here. I want to say hello to Angelo. Pronounce your last name, Angelo.
Taravella.
What a beautiful Irish name.
Thank
Oh, it's not Irish?
No.
Oh, okay. And Mr. Matty Phelan, nice to see you. Nice to see both of you. You guys got your shirts on, the Lions King Kids. And what's happening? What is this play that you're going to do?
So we have our show is on the 17th and 18th, and the 17th is a school field trip show.
Okay,
The 18th is open to the community,
okay.
and for tickets, you can bring in a donation of $5
Oh.
or more.
Wonderful, wonderful. So that's the admission price.
Mhm.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Tell me about the cast. How many members of the cast are there? And if the the control room will throw up the pictures too. They've got some pictures you guys brought. Oh, here they are. Here. What's this picture here?
These are of the
Rafikis.
Rafikis. The Rafikis.
Okay, and
Yes,
those
we
are all
do
your
have five.
those are you two.
Yep. Yep.
Wow. How long did it take to put all that makeup on?
Like 10 minutes, actually, surprisingly.
And does it come off easy?
Oh no, mine
Yeah.
took like an hour.
Wow, that is a big cast, isn't it?
Yes, about 30,
30 kids.
around 30.
30 kids, and they're all from Holy Cross Elementary.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, and next slide. Well, that's a great one there. Look at those headpieces are marvelous.
Yes.
Where did you get all the costumes?
Most of them were actually made by our director and
Who's your director?
Katie Phelan.
Katie Phelan and Becky
Oh, do you know
Bryson.
that? Does she look like that lady right over there?
Yeah, she does.
Yes,
Oh,
she does.
okay.
Very much.
And she made the costumes too?
She
Wow,
made them.
pretty talented.
Very.
Okay. And did we see this? Okay, you got any more pictures, or is that it? Oh, well, look at those guys. Tell me about that picture. What's happening there?
Those are the
And
hyenas.
one at each. You're both talking at the same time, one at a time.
Matt, you go.
Those are the hyenas.
Oh, those are the hyenas, so they laugh a lot.
Yeah.
Who's the little one in the middle?
The one in the middle,
He's
one of
hiding
the-
there.
He's one of the hyena ensemble.
Let's talk about you two guys. Mr. Phelan, what grade are you in?
I'm in 4th grade.
4th grade, and your age?
I will be 11 on Tuesday.
11. Oh, well, happy birthday to you, sir. And Angela, how about you?
I'm 10 in 4th grade.
We're both in 4th grade.
Yes.
Okay, have you guys been in theater productions before?
I have not.
And
I have. I'm currently doing one up in Port Huron.
okay, which one is that?
It's Frozen.
Frozen. Oh yeah, that's a great play too. So you have really got the theater bug in your family, don't you? Your dad's on the stage, your mother's producing it. That's pretty cool. Wow. Did your grandma and grandpa ever on either side have theater in their background?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? How about you? Your mom and dad in the theater at all, or are you the only one in the family?
My mom used to do theater. That's basically where it comes from. And that's basically it.
But do you like it?
Yes.
Good.
And also my cousin, Luciana, she does a lot of theater. She's actually who inspired me to come and do a show.
Luciana Meldrum?
No,
Oh.
no.
Another Luciana.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Well, any final thoughts, guys? It's March the 17th and the 18th. The public is only invited on the 18th, right?
Mhm.
The 17th is for the Holy Cross School?
Yeah.
Okay, good. How many students in Holy Cross now, round figures?
Maybe like 80 to 90.
Okay, wonderful. It's a great family affair there, isn't it?
Yes.
Good school. And the 18th is at the Performing Arts Center in St.Clair, beautiful theater, 600 and some seats, so there's plenty of room. And what time is the performance?
It's at 6 o'clock.
6 p.m. on the 18th. Well, have a great show. Thank you both for coming in.
Thank you for inviting us.
And next time you're having a play, come on back. Okay? That's about it for this edition of the Focus program. Thanks very much for tuning in. Till next time, I'm a friend of the of Samba and the Lion Kings, Paul Dingeman. See you soon.
Thanks for watching Focus with Paul Dingeman. Focus is produced at the CTV Community Television Studios in St. Clair. For over 20 years, CTV has captured the moments that matter to our community.